Hello, my name is Jason Yike. Welcome to Team 12's presentation for Band in the Box. For this project, we are required to design instruments for make-believe band that has some specific requirements. The band requires 4 instruments, at least 1 wind, 1 string, and 1 percussion, and each of these instruments will need to play at least one of their hit songs. Some more specific requirements include all instruments fitting into a 2-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot box, and each instrument costing less than $15 in materials. For this project, I will be designing and building the instrument for the low voice range of notes. Michelle will be designing and building the instrument for the medium-low voice range of notes. David will be designing and building the instrument for the medium-high voice range of notes. And Victor will be designing and building the instrument for the high voice range of notes. I will now discuss my design for the low voice instrument. The instrument for the low voice will be a 3-string guitar. It will be a simple design, very comparable to a normal guitar, except slightly shorter and a lot simpler design. The cost for materials will come in slightly under budget at $13.77. Some standard properties of guitar strings along with the following formula was used to make the calculations for this design, where T is the tension of the string, U is the linear mass density, and L is the length. Using these calculations, I determined that by shortening the guitar strings by 0.10305 meters, the guitar will be in the key of G instead of the key of E and will contain all of the required notes. I will now pass it off to Michelle, who will discuss the medium-low voice instrument for this project.
Thank you, Jason. Hi, my name is Michelle Watts, and I will be discussing the design for the medium to low range instrument. I chose to design a flute made from 1/2 inch by 2 feet PVC pipe. The flute I designed is 23 inches long with a radius of 1/2 inch. The following formula was used to calculate the length of each desired note, where V equals the speed of sound at 343 meters per second and F is equal to the note's frequency. The materials I used included 1/2 inch by 2 feet plastic PVC pipe, 1/2 inch 45-degree PVC S/S, a drill, and a handsaw, all coming in way under budget at $1.62. Next, David will be discussing the medium to high range instrument. David?
Thanks, Michelle. I'm Dave Escobar, and I've also designed a wind instrument to cover the medium to high voice range. My pan flute comes in just under 13 inches long by 7 inches wide, and it's just under 1 inch in depth, so it'll fit quite nicely into the band box. We cut the tubes to create and hold the standing waves at the required frequencies: C5, G4, F#4, F4, E4, D#4, D4, and C#4. We added an additional 0.8 centimeters to correct for the end effect, and we have a standard deviation of 0.05 centimeters. The list of materials is easily obtained, and the cost comes in just under $8 with a total of $7.89. So it's an economical instrument, and this will handle the medium to high voice frequencies. And I'm going to hand it off next to Victor Lee, who's covering the percussion. Thanks.
Thank you, David. My name is Victor Lee, and I will be discussing the design for the high voice instrument. The instrument for the high voice will be a xylophone consisting of 7 bars made of pine wood construction. The overall dimensions of the instrument will be 12 inches by 12 inches by 1 inch, with the longest bar measuring about 11.3 inches and the shortest bar measuring 7.5 inches. The bars will be supported on 2 wood beams at the nodal points, and a piece of felt will be placed between the bar and the support beam. The following equation for frequency was used to calculate the length of each bar, where V represents the speed of sound in pine wood, estimated to be 3,300 meters per second. K is the thickness of the bar divided by 3.46. M is a constant equal to 3.0112, and L is the length of the bar. Using the length, I was able to calculate the node distance, which represents the distance between the 2 points of support for each bar. In order to fine-tune the instrument, I will either saw off ends of the bars to shorten the overall length, or carve a curved surface on the underside of the bar. The overall material cost for the instrument design will come in under budget at $11.16. And that concludes the instrument designs for Team 12. As you can see, we met the requirements for the design projects. We have at least one of each instrument type and should be able to play all of the notes in one of the songs. Each instrument design does not exceed $15. And lastly, all of the instruments fit in a 2x2 by 2 feet box. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation.